Lab Techs, welcome to the Fiction Lab. Each week, I bring on an industry expert to talk all things fiction writing, publishing, and author businessing. I'm Katrina Schrader. I'm your Fiction Lab host and founder. So I brought Amy Lee back from Quillhawk Publishing. She joined us a few weeks ago to chat about the different types of publishing and what type of publishing works best for you and your goals. So I actually brought her back to talk about the money stuff, the stuff that's like overwhelming or confusing, or just you refuse to even think about it or look at it because money is stressful. But she talks about the kind of the economy of publishing. So Amy's going to tell us about that now. All right, Amy, thanks for joining us again. Glad you're here.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Welcome to the lab again.
Yeah.
So today we are going to talk a little bit about like the economics of publishing, specifically a breakdown of how money flows in each of the publishing models. But before we dive into that, for anybody who is just coming across an Amy episode, can you introduce yourself and talk about what you do?
Yeah, I'm Amy M. Lee, and I am the founder of Quillhawk Publishing. We are a hybrid publishing company based in Edmond, Oklahoma. And in addition to helping authors publish their works, I am also an author and a speaker. And the books behind me are the ones that I've published personally. And that's a little bit about me.
Yay!
Yay.
Amy's a hustler. I've talked about this before, and I'll talk about it always. No, Amy knows what she's doing, and she's gonna make sure that your book gets published and out there. And yeah, no, I love it.
Thank you.
Um, okay, so our topic today is around a lot of the economics, like of publishing, the stuff that nobody wants to do, the stuff that nobody wants to think about, but it's all the stuff that we have to do and think about. So I think let's talk first about traditional publishing and then we'll move into self and hybrid. So with traditional publishing, what does that flow of money look like? I mean, really just talk about like royalties, advances, some of the costs. Let's break that down.
Yeah, so with traditional publishing, when we talk about advances, it's a little bit rare nowadays, but you do have the opportunity to get advances from publishing companies. They're usually around $1 to $15,000, $20,000, depending on the publishing company, the genre that you're writing, and also you, the author, and the platform, right?
Mhm.
And so with advances, though, you do have to earn all your advance money in your book sales before you actually start earning the royalties.
Oh, that's right. I always forget about that.
Yes. Um,
Whew.
royalties, though, with traditional, you do get a percentage. It's usually around the 5 to 15% mark, and that's the list price of the book, of course. Um, with ebooks, it's a little bit higher. I want to say it's around the 25% for ebooks. I'm trying to think what else. The publisher covers entirely all the costs, so that's the flow
Mm,
is really from them to you, which is also very nice.
nice.
Yep, they take care of everything from editing, design, formatting, etc. With the advances, the timing or the payment, let's go back to that for a minute. It is usually in chunks. So there's
Mm,
milestones where, upon signing, you get a part of that advance. When you hand in your final manuscript, you get the other piece. And then when it's published, you get the last piece. And then again, you earn all that back before you actually get your royalties.
yeah.
Trying to think what else. Um, yeah, I mean, that's really the flow of traditional in terms of the money.
So then let's talk a little bit about self-publishing because that's going to flow a little bit differently and also some of those things don't exist.
Like advances.
Like advances.
Advances do not exist.
Yep.
Um, the royalties, though, are definitely higher.
Yeah.
Most authors will publish their books through Amazon KDP and Ingram Spark. KDP usually will offer like a 60% royalty after minus the printing costs and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Because Amazon does get their cut. And for ebooks, it's usually around the 70% mark. So definitely higher royalties there. With Ingram Spark, though, you're incentivized to offer a wholesale discount, usually 40 to
Mm,
55%. That incentivizes the bookstores and the libraries to buy a book, especially on an unknown author.
yeah.
Um, so keep that in mind too, because your royalty does go down after the wholesale price, after the printing price comes out of that.
Yeah.
And then you have to pay for everything in self-publishing. You're doing the editing, you're hiring someone to do the edit, and do hire a professional editor. That's the biggest thing that I will say if you're going to spend money on
Necessary.
anything. Yep. And editing will be usually it's based on word count. It could be, 2 cents, it could be 5 cents per word.
Yeah.
So always ask for a sample copy or sample editing.
Yes, I think like I'm just gonna hop in real quick to say that like you need to ask for a sample edit. That's how you know if you're gonna work well with that editor.
Yes.
And they should offer one. Most of them
Yes.
do.
For
Yeah.
free. Yes.
Yeah,
Mhm.
for free. That'd be like the first 10 pages or something, but that's how you know if you've got an editor that you're gonna work well with because that is so important. So that's a cost that you need to like account for and also make sure that it is I don't know. That's the thing that you need to make sure you're putting money into because that's a relationship that you need to keep and also needs to flow well.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm. Um, in addition to editing, spend your money on a cover designer, right?
Yeah.
And cover designers, it depends. I mean, a really good one is going to cost around $300 to even 800 or more. Um,
Hmm.
and make sure that you get a cover designer that will do your ebook and your cover wraps, the front, back, spine for your print editions.
Yes.
And your audiobook too. Find out, what it's going to cost to do the audiobook for your book. And then formatting, I don't know, Katrina, I would say about around 300 to 500 for formatting. Is that your
It
experience?
kind of depends. It can be anywhere from, it also depends on the size of the book and the content of the book. It can be
Mhm.
anywhere from, 300 to several thousand, especially if you have a ton of pictures in there. Or yeah, I think just it depends on the elaborateness, if that's a
Yes,
word,
yes,
of what you've got on the inside and even how big it is. So that one, it's such a hard cost to narrow down, you know.
yeah, yeah. And when you're doing formatting, make sure you ask also the formatter if they're formatting just the interior file for print, right? Or
Yeah,
will they do ebook, KPF, EPUB, that kind of thing as well.
absolutely. Yeah.
And then ISBN numbers, you got to think about the cost of that, which is around
Mhm.
$105 per ISBN number. And then the biggest chunk is marketing. So
Yes.
that flow of money comes from you out.
Yeah. Yep.
So you have to have a budget, you have to have a bank account. Yeah, that's
Treat it like a business, you know.
absolutely. Yep.
And I think something, and this is something I'm gonna say because I know a lot of the authors that I talk to don't ever think about this if they're doing self-publishing, is expensing stuff. There's a
Mm,
lot of stuff if you go to conferences or like spend money on craft books, that you can count as a business expense. Whether or not your book is published, if you plan on publishing it and making money off of it, you can expense those things.
yes, yes.
Like, yeah.
Um, That's a very good tip because, again, treating it as a business, having an LLC, which is easy to
Yes.
start,
Yeah.
you can tie all that into your business for sure.
Yep. Absolutely. Okay, so let's now talk about the flow of money within hybrid publishing because it's a little different, but it's almost like a blend of the two, right?
It is the blend of two, traditional and indie. It is typically author subsidized.
Mhm.
And I say subsidized because it is a shared cost between the author and the publishing company. Um, Maybe you have a team of editors behind you or a team of formatters behind you, but they're not going to charge you as much as if you were self-publishing. You're sharing that cost. So typically the authors pay up front for a publishing package. That could be anywhere between, I don't know, 1,000 to 15, $20,000, depending on the publishing package that you pick.
Mm.
So it's very important to find out what you specifically get for those publishing packages. Um, like with Quillhawk Publishing, traditionally editing costs, 2 to 5 cents per word. We try to help our authors by only charging them 1 penny per word. Um,
Yeah.
so that is the shared cost between the self and the traditional. Um, Royalties tend to be higher with hybrid also. So in terms of the money flow, you get more in your pocket that way
Yeah.
than traditional. Um, Maybe a little less than self, but not a whole lot less.
Hmm.
And with Quillhawk, we actually give our authors all of their royalties so that we don't take a cut of that as well. But it's important to find out what those terms are with the hybrid publishing company that you pick. And then that's mainly the thing about the flow really is it's a shared cost. It's
Yeah.
like a shared bank account
Yeah.
some ways.
Oh, that's great. Well, this is all super, super helpful. I think, that's one of the hardest things and a lot of stuff that just people don't think about. So thank you for coming on and walking us through it. I know we've got some more episodes planned in the future around the economics of publishing, so there'll be a lot more where this came from.
Yeah. And I will also say that, as people are picking their pathways to publishing and thinking about the money flow and everything, also think about the return on investment. What are you
Yes.
getting from each pathway? You
Yeah.
Super important because it could be, maybe your return on investment is just having a traditional publisher behind you and you've got that credibility. Maybe that's your return on investment.
Yeah.
Maybe the self-publishing piece is really you have already got this huge platform. You're a principal at a school, you've got all these kids and you've got a book that is a children's book that you want to,
Mm,
there's your return on investment right there. So yeah, let's definitely think of it as a business and definitely think of what the return on investment is.
yeah. Yeah, I think it's so crucial. So I can talk words. So crucial. I do this for a living. Um, I think it's so crucial to make sure that you're treating this as a business. And I think that's as much a lot of work as it is writing the book, right?
Mm. Oh yes. Oh yes.
It's a lot,
You can do
but
it. And yes.
yeah, and there's supportive platforms like our Fiction Lab Discord where you can get
Yeah.
all sorts of help for that. So I'm just gonna keep promoting that because I can. It's my show. I
Yeah.
can do what
Well,
I
let me
want.
ask you this though. If you are on the Fiction Lab Discord, do you have to be a fiction writer?
No, honestly, one of our members, she is also writing fiction, but she's a nonfiction author. And she's published some nonfiction books. So I think there's some crossover. Most of what we're talking about is as far as like storycraft goes, a lot of it is very like fiction focused.
Mhm.
Although a lot of that can apply to nonfiction writing depending upon what you're writing, especially if it's memoir or narrative nonfiction.
Yes.
But then there's also, as far as like the publishing stuff or the writing tools or anything like that, all those fun resources, you can get a lot of that from the Fiction Lab as well. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah. Um, Thanks, Amy, for joining us. Where can people find you?
Yeah, they go to quillhawkpublishing.com. That's my website. And there's also sorts of goodies on there, including access to my social media links. So thank you.
Perfect. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna not ask you a work question and now ask you a relaxed, chill question.
Okay.
What are you reading for fun right now?
Oh my gosh, I have it right here and it's called I don't know if you can see it.
Put it in front of yourself and yeah. Well, okay,
Yeah,
we
okay, there
lost.
you go.
There it is. Oh,
That's
okay.
my fun read, right? Is cook right for your blood type.
That's your
So
fun read.
it's very interesting. I'm a B positive blood type. I
Yeah.
actually it talks about, whether, you know, if the Mediterranean diet's right for you or you're just an all-out meat eater, like that kind of thing. And it
How
helps the
interesting.
body to regulate the foods. If you're trying to lose weight, eat right for your blood type.
Yeah.
So yeah, lots of good nuggets in here from Peter DiGiamo.
How interesting. Okay, thanks for sharing. I'll put the information not only to contact you and access you, but also that book link into the show notes.
Yay! Thank
Yeah.
you.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much, Amy. This was so fun. Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Bye. Hooray! We did it. We learned about money. Woo! Yeah, so Amy will be back. Amy's the best, and she just has a crap ton of knowledge. So I'm gonna keep bringing her on so we can poke that noodle of hers and just get all of the good knowledge, that good Amy knowledge. If you want to connect with Amy, she is in our Discord, so you can actually just like chat with her directly. That link is in the show notes. And then if you also just want to find her and follow her, check out her website, all of those other things are also in the show notes. And I know you can't see this, but I'm talking with my hands, and so I'm describing where the show notes are down below. I'm sure this is helpful for all of you, but it works for me. Yeah, so join our Discord. We have a fun time. We've got some really cool book club stuff planned. So please keep listening for those announcements. If you're in our Discord, you already got that announcement, or even on our newsletter. So yeah, just keep an eye out. We've got some cool stuff. And some awesome, exciting webinars coming up. We have one about writing horror, and I'm very excited about this for spooky season because it's the best season. So yeah, anyway, the end. Goodbye.